Hey folks, yes, it is finally time to be talking about a new crawler. And yes, I know, we do have Screaming Frog and we have Sidebulb and everything's fine and dandy, right? Well, yeah, no. I do think there's some space for another desktop crawler. Let me tell you why. But first, here's the name. It's called Horsemen. Horsemen. Yes. You can see everything and the details and you can get it on gethorseman.app. You have to be a GitHub sponsor to get early access, or you just wait and pay the good price for it. Okay. Um, so without further ado, let me get into the basics of Horseman, what it is and what it can do for you, and why is it so special. Here it is. This is Horseman. This is like the starting screen of Horseman of the app. You get your input, you get start crawl button, and you're good to go, like with any other crawler. Yes. But there's more to it. So why am I talking about Horseman? I'm a tech SEO. Okay, so I'm a developer. I used to be a web developer. I still develop stuff, mostly in PHP, doing some C Sharp, some little JavaScript thingies as well. But I turned to the good side and I'm now working in SEO and it's really fun. But I'm working in tech SEO. So what I need to do is I get a lot of data from websites, from the web pages, and sometimes it's easy. I can do it with Screaming Frog. I can do everything with Sidebob and whatever I need to do, or I can work with my own software that I wrote. What makes Horseman so really, really cool is it's like customizable. If you know a bit about JavaScript, you can customize this thing to your needs. What do I mean by that? So Horseman is using Chrome under the hood or under the bonnet if you're from the UK. That means that for every crawl of a page, it starts up a tab in a headless Chrome. And what that means is you get access to the DOM of every single page. So you can get data from every single page and you can do whatever you want to do, just as you would in your dev tools in Chrome, for example. So we don't just have the starting screen and hit just start crawl or whatever. We also have a snippet library and a snippet editor. So within the snippet editor, you can write your own snippets. Okay. So what we have here is like the help section of the snippet editor. You can write JavaScript. You can import custom modules and use them on any page during the crawl. Okay. Let me show you a few examples. What we are having here is all the snippets, an overview of all the snippets that are available right now. The ones with the blue, pinkish buttons are the ones that I've written myself. The ones with only just one gray or black button are the ones that came or that come with Horseman. And there are going to be more, much more. So over here we have like the image alt attributes of the page. Yes, I know Screaming Frog does that as well. Every crawler does that. We have the image alt missing. Yes, all the other ones do that as well. But what about this one? We have console errors, console logs, and console warnings. So whenever you have a console error on your page, there is the possibility that this might break JavaScript on your page. So whenever your jQuery is effed up, or your JavaScript is effed up on the page, it might break a navigation, it might break your checkout routine, it might break anything on the page. So that's one thing that you would like to watch out for, to look out for. And Horseman is giving you that. It's going to show you all the console errors, all the console logs and warnings if you want that. I have written one snippet that gives me all the H1s of a page. Yes, there should be just one, I know, but it's giving me the list of all the H1s. And over here, I have written a snippet that gives me the H1 sentiment. So what I did here, I just imported this package and I'm using it on the H1 element of my page. So I'm going to analyze the sentiment of the H1 and going to return the sentiment score. And it's going to show up in my crawl. And this way, you can extend this crawler. You can customize this crawler just to suit your needs. I had to get the table count of a page, for example, or of the pages of a website, just to check out how many they had. So I just returned the table count of any page, right? You can get scraping functionality, get all unique telephone numbers, get email addresses, whatever you need to have. Get the node count if you're like me, you want to have lean pages. Yes, get the node count. Check out the biggest ones just to see where you can start working. We're checking for the canonicals, for example. Do we have duplicate canonicals? Is the head valid, the HTML head? Is it a valid one? Is it broken? Right? You want to check that. Are we using Google Optimized? Do we have date published or date modified in JSON-LD, for example? Are we using jQuery? And if so, give me the version. Where do we use old versions, for example? What else do we have here? Yes, of course, Core Web Vitals, LCP, CLS. We do have it because we are running a real Chrome underneath. Okay. The decompressed resource size and the transferred resource size. We're getting the time to first byte of the server. Then when we're using Cloudflare, we're going to get the cache status as well. Okay. We're going to get all the response headers, the last modified response header, X-robots tag, whatever you need to have. There's a lot of stuff already built into Horsemen, and whatever is not built into it, you can do it your own. It's not just like a customized extraction. You can work with the data that you're getting. You can get the H1, you can get the H2, you can do whatever you want with them. You can get the sentiment, you can check for spelling, grammar errors, and then work with that and return a value of this work that you've done on this element or on all the elements, which is really a great difference between using Screaming Frog's custom extraction, where you can just extract some value of the page, or work with this kind of stuff, like getting the sentiment of the title, of the meta description, or of the H1 heading, or whatever you want to do there. Okay, so let's check out a real crawl real quick. We're going to check out a very tiny website, Amazon Co. UK. I'm going to stop the crawl after a couple of pages just to show you around a bit. So this is the crawl overview. You're going to get the Puppet Master up here. We're going to start with amazon.co.uk. Active puppets running right now, which means active Chrome instances running right now, are 3. Max memory limit 8 gigabytes. Queued pages at this moment 760, 45 have been crawled already. Below you're going to find the snippets that are active right now. If you check one, you're just deactivating the display of the columns, but it's still being used by the crawler. So I'm going to maximize the crawl space down here so we can see it better. So what we're seeing here is the origin URL, the one that has been discovered and then crawled. And we're going to check out this little icon, the chain icon, and it's going to show us the inlinks to this page. And it's going to be filled up as the crawl is continuing. Origin status means what is the first HTTP status code the crawler gets. In this case, it's 301, and the final status code is 200, which means it follows the redirect chain and gives you the last final status HTTP status code of the final stage. The final URL is also shown. I can just expand this here. So this is the discovered URL, ref equals nav logo, which is 301 redirected to amazon.co.uk. You're also going to get the title, of course. Over here we have like the images with the alt attributes, alt missings, unclear links, which gives you like the links which do not have like a good good anchor text. And over here you can see the console errors. CSM logging failed. This is just an error output by the script, which doesn't break the page, but it also could mean that the JavaScript is not working, and that could break the page. Fatal uncaught type error. That might be a bad one. So let's continue further to the right. What do we have here? The canonical is set. Do we have a duplicate? Nope. Do we have a valid head? No, we don't. We should check that out on this page, right? A little further to the right, we're going to have the performance, CLS, LCP, and the time to first byte, the resource decompressed and transferred, the decompressed size of all the images on the page. Then we're going to have the cache control, which is being returned by the response headers of the server, the Cloudflare cache status, which we don't have on Amazon, the last modified date, which comes with the response headers, and of course we can see all response headers down here. Over to the right, xrobots tag. I don't think we have any here. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Then the page node count. Yes, on Amazon it's quite big, at least on most pages. Then we have hreflang links. Is this page available in other languages? 2 over here. Baby registry. Yes. The content, h1. This is the h1 together with the XPath. Also, this works for the h2, which we have here, for example. We have 8 h2s on this page. And you're going to get all the XPaths of the h2 headings, so you can send this stuff to your content people or to your developers if you need to tell them where the h2s are that they're supposed to be working on. What else do we have? Oh yeah, here's the sentiment, right? The one that I wrote, this snippet. So the h1 sentiment is a pretty good one here. So let's see the h1. Everything you love about Amazon. Yes, of course, I love that. Let's check another one. Oh, -4. What is that? Oh, we have 4 h1s. We're gonna get the first one. Jar opening for weak hands. Yes, weak is very bad. Arthritic. Yeah. Yeah, that's very negative. So we get a -4 there. How about that one? Voice remote. No TV. Yeah, no TV is also very bad, right? So it's working. And over here we have the table count. Another snippet that I have written. 65 tables on that one, 13 on that, 9 on that, 69 on that. You get the idea. Of course, you can export this thing, all the data in here. Look at all the 404s, all the 301s. Yeah, whatever. You can export the data to CSV, of course, to import that stuff into Google Sheets or Excel or whatever you work with. I would strongly suggest checking it out. If you're a little bit on the technical side, you can write the stuff your own, like the extensions, the snippets. If you're not technical, I believe there's going to be a marketplace for that, like a free one for the users of this software. I'm going to be publishing my snippets, of course, as well. So whenever you're checking this software out and you have questions about it or suggestions, you can always reach out to Chris, the developer. My name is Chris as well, but I'm not the developer. Chris Johnson at Defaced on Twitter, and you're going to find him on GitHub as well. And it's going to be over here. Work effort waste. GitHub.com sponsors work effort waste. And there you can become a sponsor of the software and get early access, which I would highly recommend to anybody seriously trying to crawl websites. All right, this is just to give you a very, very quick overview over the software. I hope this was successful, and if you have any questions, just comment below and let me know. I'm going to try to answer as quickly and as good as possible.